Hey guys, happy 4th of July. Hope you had a good 4th of July weekend. I know I did. Very relaxing, got a lot of sun, had a great time, pulled a nice muscle in my back, which is always fun, but got to do some athletic things, some things that I love to do that a lot of times I don't get the chance to do. Wanted to come to you guys here. A lot of times I start off these videos, and I think many of you know now, and I'd spread this to your friends, we're going to start doing these videos almost every day or every other day. But a lot of times I start off these videos and I say, hey, people ask all the time, what's the key to success? What's the key to doing really well at whatever industry you happen to be in? And again, I'm getting those kind of questions lately and such, so I'm going to give you another thing that I came up with, or that I read a lot of stuff, I watch a lot of stuff. I always say there's nothing new under the sun. I get inspired by people just like some of you get inspired by watching videos like this. But I've almost become like obsessed with the idea of, I was watching something recently and people are saying, how do people do so well at their job? How do people do so well at their careers? How do some people rise to the top while others are still kind of floundering in mediocrity or whatever it may be? And there's this whole notion out there, it's like, well, you're a natural born salesman, or you're a natural born whatever it may be. And I kind of hate that term. I believe there's a big difference between your talent and your skill. There's people who are born with natural born talents, no doubt about it. I'm naturally an introvert, but I also have natural gifts when it comes to personality traits to talk to people and get up on a stage and do things that some people clam up and can't do it. That's why you see some people with the greatest personalities in the world and they get on a stage and it's like crickets in the background. And so there's no doubt that there's something about this natural abilities, natural talents, born into things, that kind of stuff. But then there's also this thing of skill. And I think this is underrated, and I think it's sometimes used as an excuse for people, because I believe that anybody can develop skill. There's a certain amount of natural ability which you don't have that much control over, but then there's this skill thing, which is just how much time are you going to put into getting better at your craft. If you're in sales, or you're a CEO, or you're whatever you may be, if you're coasting by, then you're probably just working purely off of talent. And there's some people who can work just off of talent and do just fine. But then there's this other side, which is the skill side, which literally comes down to how much harder are you going to work than everybody else? How much work are you going to put in when everybody else is playing, just working on your craft? How much time do you put in learning about your craft? How many books do you read on it? This is something that people sometimes walk into my office and they're surprised because they'll see me listening to speakers and listening to people, that I might know or that I might whatever, and they're like, well, why are you listening to them? And it's because I have this almost obsession to just learn as much as I can, because it's funny, it's like the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know. And so I'm almost obsessive about this idea of just, honing my craft and developing my skill. And I can't do anything about God-given abilities that were given to me. They're already there. But I can work my tail off and I can learn, I can get as good as I possibly can at skill. And that's where some of us are lacking in our areas. We get into sales, we get into whatever, and then we just kind of hope it happens. We follow trends, we do whatever it may be, and we never actually work on our craft. We have kids and we never read books on parenting. We just don't learn these kinds of things. I was watching a video by Will Smith recently, and I loved what he said. He said how if you get on a treadmill with him and you want to out-treadmill him, I'm paraphrasing, that's not what he said, but if you want to out-treadmill him, whatever, he may not have all the talents in the world, but when it comes to the skill, the actual what it's going to take for him to work to get there, he said two things are going to happen if you get into a competition with him on that treadmill. One is you're going to give up, and the only other option is that he's going to die on that treadmill. Because basically, there's no other option, okay? He may not have all of the God-given talents or whatever, but he can work his tail off when it comes to skill. And I just believe that we have to almost be delusional about the idea of what we can accomplish, what we can do, the things we can learn, how we can implement them, these kinds of things. And so, I guess the thing I'm saying to you today is, don't undervalue the idea of God-given abilities and just personality traits that are in you. But man, master those things you can control. When it comes to your actual skill level, that is something you can control. When everybody else is hanging out doing whatever, you can be working on that. You can be honing that craft, honing that skill, whatever. And if you want to know what I do, that's what it is. You talk to the people who are closest to me, and I'm nuts about this. It's not an accident that at the age I'm at, I do the things now that I do. It has more to do with the fact that I control the things that I can control, if that makes any sense. All right, guys, so happy 4th of July. As usual, guys, look forward to having you on the Pulse, Facebook friends, Twitter, all that kind of stuff. Hope you have a good rest of the week, the shortened week here, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great one.